In this tutorial, we're going to look at the layers that we identified, and we're going to actually extrapolate them into the layers in Photoshop so we can bring it into After Effects and create our 2.5D parallax composition. So here's where we left off. We identified these layers, so we're going to keep this up here so we can have it as a reference. If you'd like to do that, you can, or just write it down or memorize it. That's okay. I have these 3 layers up here created for you to use as this example, and then I'll show you the completed layers here in just a second. The important thing is that each of these layers that we identified, so number 1, for example, we're going to create masks for. So right now, here's a mask for that layer. That one was really simple. It's right here in the front. We're able to identify where it is and make it into its own layer. The problem we have right now is that if we move it, because we are going to be moving it, it's going to have the perception of movement in After Effects. It just reveals its own self behind there. So what we need to do is the layer behind it, we need to, let me turn on that layer. We need to start to eat into that layer that we're going to be working with. And so you can see here, I kind of started that process inside of here. If I turn this layer on and off, and the way I did that was just by selecting the stamp tool, selecting somewhere in this composition, and starting to bring that back down like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to like look perfect. It just has to look right when you have that process working in there. So it doesn't even have to go very far. You just have to eat it. I call it eating into that layer to the point where the parallax is going to make sense. So now if I turn this layer on, all that stuff, even the stuff that didn't really work out, is hidden. And now when we move it here, we can start to see that it reveals that background a little bit nicer. So let's see one that was done a little bit more carefully, that made it look a little bit nicer. Here's that project. And starting from the very back, we have the sky that was been eaten into, and then those buildings there that are on layer 4, these buildings here for layer 3, layer 2, and layer 1. And as you can see here, as we move in, you can see that moves. When these ones move, you're going to see that the sky is going to be back there and it's ready to go. So take some time with this one, kind of eat it into it a little bit. We're going to be coming back and forth from this outside of After Effects to perfect it a little bit as you complete this project. All right, thanks.